Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM. North Central Netball time with the president of the association, Kylie Walsh. She's as busy as ever. Kylie, great to have you back on with us. How are you?
Great, thanks, Alice. End of term 2 for us, so it's going to be good.
Well,
cool.
Maybe the end of term and a bit of respite, but not in the netball. It continues to roll on. And we do have a lot to discuss with you about the state of North Central Netball. Let's go to the under-17s and under-A grade competition. We haven't really profiled this with you on the air so far this year, Kylie.
Yep.
Firstly, I guess before we get into the results, why don't you just bring us in on how that competition is poised in 2024?
Yeah, thanks, Alice. With 17 under, we've got Burchett Watcham placed very comfortably on top of the ladder, undefeated currently, while Nullawul and St Arnaud battle out for second and third place respectively, and then followed by Witchy-Proof, Narraport, Charlton, Sea Lake Nandali Tigers, Wedderburn, Donald and Bort. And the top are starting to break away. This top group are to break away from the back half of the season, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. If we have a look at last week and in the 17 under A, we had Sea Lake Nandali Tigers playing Bort. Bort certainly took a strong stance with their mid-court combination of Emma Malone, Ella and Lacey Shredder, controlling their centre passes and dictating the flow early in the game. Sea Lake Nandali Tigers managed to keep within reach throughout the quarters. However, they truly came to life in the final quarter, Alice, with Dana McKenzie leading the charge from the circle for her Tiger mates. And the Tigers flipped the game in the final quarter, chasing down the Magpies with a blistering 12-5 run in the final term, and they were rewarded with their efforts with a 30-27 win over Bort.
That must have been a real stop-start game. How often do we see a side winning the first 3 quarters and then dropping the game? That's pretty unusual.
Yeah, it is. And Bort sort of had a 4-goal lead throughout the first 3 quarters. So, yeah, it was quite a turnaround for the Tigers. It was wonderful.
Well, there were some other great games too, and one of those was Burchett Watcham v Nullawul, less than 10 goals in that one.
Yeah, that's right. And it was always going to be a great game between these two top teams because they always have it's always tight and very competitive contest every meeting they have, and this was no different. The Bulls looked like they were going to dictate the game from the beginning. However, Nullawul, true to form, and regardless of what grade they play in, stayed calm and precise with their ball delivery down the court, achieving a 4-goal swing over the quarter and taking a 2-goal lead at half-time. And then the Coffey sisters swapped their defensive bibs between each other, and that appeared to alter the momentum for Nullawul, and that allowed some valuable turnovers for the Bulls to capitalise on. And this was a terrific test for the young Bulls. They were challenged for the first time this season, and they had to stay calm whilst chasing the scoreline for the first time. And the Bulls were rewarded with their efforts, emerging victorious with the challenge, winning 37-29 over Nullawul.
Witchy-Proof Narraport were too good for Donald, but Donald gave it a pretty good go, 31-19, the final score there.
Yeah, they did, and Donald had the edge over Witchy-Proof Narraport from their round 1 meeting, but the Demons have developed strength to strength over the season, and now they're placed 4th on the ladder. And the Demons have made some valuable choices, blending some of their key 14 under players into their 17 under squad, and they're certainly seeing the benefits of this strategy. And they had Libby Thompson directing her squad through the centre and adding some strength with her defensive end with Demi Matheson and Ruby Ison. Donald struggled to find the space on the court and gain any reward with goals, and young Donald's squad was certainly pleased with their efforts, so they should be, with winning that 3rd quarter. They can take that away really positively. However, Witchy-Proof Narraport were dominant this time meeting, and they won 31-19, as you said.
And the other game to discuss involved Wedderburn Redbacks and St Arnaud, 20-56. Big win for the away side there in the under-17As.
Yeah, that's right. It was always going to be a tough game for Wedderburn against third place St Arnaud. And the Saints had Talisha Johns and Scarlett Hand and David Wilson creating havoc in their defensive partnership, and that severely limited the Redbacks' goaling opportunities throughout the first half of the game. Whilst at the under end of the court, Saint key goaler Millie Hando, she worked tirelessly both inside and outside the circle, adding variety to her shots and demonstrating some accuracy to the post. So, yeah, St Arnaud were too strong for Wedderburn with this meeting, winning comfortably 56-20. And we had Charlton with a bye.
All right, well, that caps off things in the under-17s. Why don't you fill us in on how some of the other junior comps are progressing at the moment, Kylie?
Thanks, Alice. Just with a quick look at the 14 under ladder, just to see how that's competition is tracking. We've got Donald with a slight edge over Burton Watcham, who is sitting top of the ladder, and the Bulls second, followed by Sea Lake, Nandi, Daly Tigers, Tanarned, Fort, Nullawal, Witchproof, Narraport and Charlton, followed by Wedderburn. And our final official grade to speak of is a 14 under B. We have first and second place sitting quite clear of the rest of the competition, with Tanarned on top of the ladder, followed by Birchip Watcham, Donald, Fort, Wedderburn, Sea Lake and Daly Tigers. So, yeah, there's a great competition throughout, and it's a nice seeing variety within the top four of it, all the grades.
All right, well, lots to keep across. Why don't we preview the A grade for the weekend coming up, Kylie? Very exciting, some of the fixtures that we've got. Over to you. Give us a preview of what we can expect this weekend in the A grade.
Thanks, Alice. We have Carlton hosting Bort. So Charlton has challenged a lot of teams throughout their match play, but I think Bort will be too strong with the Navies, and they're just coming off a bye as well. So Bort were challenged last week against the Tigers, but I think they'll be hoping for a solid 4 quarters on Saturday. Sea Lake and Daly Tigers host Wedderburn, and this will be a really interesting mindset between both teams, especially after Tigers created an upset the last time they met. So Tigers narrowly keeping in touch with the Magpies last week with a 5-goal buffer, so they should take those factors into the consideration for this game. Redbacks will be hoping for Holly Lockhart to continue a plethora of goals this week, following on from last week's efforts, and it'll be a great game to watch, and the outcomes could go either way depending on who handles these precious moments the best. We have Tanarned hosting Witchy-proof Narraport. This will be a great game between these two teams, and the Demons are currently holding 1 game advantage over the Saints. Tessa Coles will need to elevate her team with the execution, because the Saints have been consistently delivering a strong performance against teams higher up the ladder. So the Saints will be eager to secure their first win for the season, which has eluded them so far. So it'll be interesting to see whether Demons can hinder their efforts and maintain the edge over this matchup. And finally, we have Donald hosting Birchip Watcham. So the Bulls head to the stadium in Donald after a satisfying win over Nullawal last weekend. So I believe Bulls will carry some confidence from the victory they gained last week, both individually as a team, coming up to this game. However, we all know that facing Donald's never easy, and they're renowned for their toughness and resilience on court. Nevertheless, the Bulls have shown some improvement with their processes down and teamwork down the court. So I expect the Bulls will be too strong for the Blues at home, and we have Nullawal with the bye.
Watch this space or listen to it if you like. We'll certainly be back and find out how all those games went over the weekend on next week's program. Kylie Walsh, that's where we'll leave it. The president of the North Central Netball Association. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Flow Friday Sports Show, and enjoy the netball on the weekend.
Thanks, Alice. I will. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.